Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Double checking that you can see me and hear me before I set everything else up. And I think I'm going to have to brighten things up a little bit here. I just cleaned off my desk today, which has resulted in cleanliness and more white space in my brain, but also I now no longer know where anything is, and my setup is completely different. So it's taken a little bit of getting used to. Hold on here. Let me adjust the brightness. I want that one. Yeah, I like that one. A little bit more lighter than I normally do, but still works for me. Yeah. So let me know in the chat if you can see and hear me clearly. Very, very important before we get started. I'm going to go ahead and tack on the overlay that I just did for today and for today's agenda. And also, I have the specific intro video too, which I'm very excited about. I previewed that last week without audio. And I found the audio that I used for the last one I did. So I'm very satisfied with it. And now I'm ready to show you the results. Hold on. Let me check on things on my end just to double check, because things look okay and they sound okay on my end. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are okay on your end. Okay, looking good on the Book of Face. And I have to just double check the tube of you so that it's good for everyone, wherever you're tuning in from, even when you're watching the replay, which I think is one of the best parts about doing these lives. It's not only I feed off of the energy of the audience doing these live, and you get the audience participation portion of it, which is also really, really fun, but you get to watch the replays whenever you need to. So you get that dose of whatever tarot information that you're looking for, or oracle information that you're looking for, or just, practical advice from me, whether it's 3 a.m. or 5 p.m., whenever you need it. Both my Book of Face and my Tube of You channels are thoroughly searchable, so you can find whatever it is that we're looking for if we've done that topic. We've done a lot of topics in the last 3 years, or almost 3 years. So Zuri is here. I was just about to check on the Tube of You, so let me check that first. But Zuri is here saying happy Friday to everybody. And also, I love that. The Book of Face. I'll have to use that in my lives. That is not credited to me. That is credited to Molly Mahoney and her team at the Prepared Performer, where she has a program called Show Up with Video. It's formerly Camera Confidence. And, it's a way to get around those pesky algorithms to make sure that, I can reach as many people as possible organically with these videos. So you never know which keywords are flagged for the audio or for the visual or for the captions. So we try and get around it by using a different type of vernacular. And though it sounds natural now and easy for me to say, Book of Face, Tube of You, gram of Insta, it is not. And I have considerable practice in that now. But yeah, try it out. Let me know how it goes for you. Jamie is also here. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you as well. Katie is here. Hello, hello, hello. And Zuri says it's genius. I can't take credit for it, but Molly Mahoney can. Thank you very much, Molly Mahoney and the Prepared Performer. They're awesome. And they are part of the reason why I go live every week and do these live streams every week. It's part of my marketing plan, but it is also really fun. Have fun on these, and I hope you do too. So greetings are happening in the chat, which is awesome. I'd love to see that. So Zuri is saying hi to Jamie. Jamie, I'm sure you're saying hi back to Zuri. While you're all doing that, I am going to check on the tube of you, make sure that it's broadcasting properly, which I believe it is. My icon is coming up. It's saying it's up there. It's saying it's live. Just want to make sure. Ooh, there's pinned chat in the tube of you. That's interesting. I'm not broadcasting to the gram of Insta because that would be 3 things to keep track of instead of the 2 that I keep track of in one window. I've tried, it usually doesn't work out. I usually can't keep it under an hour. If I can keep it under an hour tonight, then I will go ahead and I will upload to the gram of Insta later on. But I'm not going to go live on there right now. I actually just did a live with Gala Darling because she is currently in her launch for the second round of Gala Darling Method, which is the EFT certification that I just came through. February 1st to the end of April. So it's a 3-month thing. So she was looking at, it looks like everything's working on the tube of you. And there is a option for a pin chat there, which is really cool. And I think 2 people watching over there. So, but I can see all the comments no matter where you comment. So that's good. So I'll come back and display some of the comments in a second, but where was I? Gala Darling. So she just did a gram of Insta live to take any questions that people had for the second round of the Gala Darling Method, which is her EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique certification. As some of you know from a couple of weeks ago, I did do an episode on revisiting Emotional Freedom Technique, tapping, and the tarot now that I've gone through that certification. So we have not 1, but 2 episodes for you to take a look at regarding EFT tapping and the tarot. The one from, I think last month, a year and a month ago, I did the first one on EFT tapping and the tarot, which was which also included a personalized tapping session for you at the end of the episode based on the weekend forecast tarot card, just to show you the combination of tarot and tapping and what can happen when you combine tarot and tapping. And that was before I did the certification. So that was a very powerful tapping. I got a lot out of it when I revisited that particular episode. But then I decided, coming back from Vegas, coming back from the certification, I really wanted to see the difference between how I presented tapping to you with the tarot before the certification and then after the certification. Hi, honey. Mr. Tarot by Hilary just did a grocery run, so he's back from that. Because apparently we needed toilet paper. So I'm glad that he noticed that, because that would have been very bad to notice in the moment when you need toilet paper, right? So yeah. The second round is in enrollment right now. I think she's got 50% full right now, and it was only like the second day of the launch. So enrollment is supposed to close on Sunday, but it might be full by then. So it's just like Sunday or 50 people, because she wants to keep it small. So, it personalizes the class, and so that she can give people the individual attention. And also, we talk a lot on these episodes about creating the containers to do your best work, and creating the containers to do, know how your intuition works best and set the sacred space, etc. Zuri is saying that could have been a future live in and of itself, the adventures in going toilet paperless. No, thank you. We do not have a bidet. I'm sure they're wonderful, but we don't have one to install right now. And yeah, that is a different series of episodes entirely. Though I'm getting a show right now, which is nice. I know I'm not getting a show because I pointed out that I was getting a show. I am on the live now, you know. People can't see you. I'm trying to concentrate right now, but I have a half-naked man in front of me that happens to be my husband. So, you know, if I'm having trouble concentrating, it's for a good reason. Anyway, so yeah, can't look over there right now. So yeah, she had a couple of us. Gala let us know I'm doing a live at this time. If some of you are available for the Gala Darling Method graduates, some of you are available to come on the live and talk about your experience, and let people know what your experience was and answer any questions and help people decide if they happen to be on the fence about this program and what it's about. So I was just like, yeah, sure. I happened to not have any appointments today, client appointments today. I do still need to get my newsletter out, which I said I wanted to do before I came on the live stream, and then that didn't happen, but it's coming out tonight. Newsletter subscribers, or if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my newsletter, tarotbyhilary.com. That's Hilary with one L, except no substitutes. Don't be fooled by scammers, etc., etc., etc. tarotbyhilary.com, and then you'll see a subscription banner at the top, navigation, also on the bottom, navigation too. I think I hit you twice on the main page and most main pages of my website. Go ahead and sign up, because this is a newsletter issue that is going to only subscribers, because it's a little bit vulnerable. Then I talk a little bit about my former day job, not in details, but also basically how unhappy I was, and how different my life is due to not just tarot, but also due to tapping. And I don't know, tapping made me realize that this can't continue, that my unhappiness couldn't continue. So the intuition was there already through tarot and through that tool. But tapping really brought it through and kind of broke that block, where it was just like I knew how unhappy I was, and I knew my intuition was saying, like, no, this is not for you, or working for somebody else is not for you. But my logical brain kept on saying, no, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to force it. I'm going to push it. I'm going to this. And tapping just brought everything to the surface that it couldn't continue. So if you want more about that and my experience, and also a little bit more about what tapping is and how to work with me using tapping and also using tarot, subscribe. I've got EFT sessions available, tapping sessions available, and I also have tarot sessions available. The tarot is never going to go away, folks. Like, if anything, my experience with my tapping certification has only deepened and strengthened my intuition. And that shows in my client readings too. And Sophia, you're here a little bit late. I was just explaining, Mr. Tarot by Hilary came home from the grocery store with toilet paper, which he realized we were low on, thankfully, because otherwise that would have been bad had you needed it and not had it. So that's the reason why toilet paper is being discussed in the chat right now. You didn't miss anything. 16 minutes in and I still haven't done my introduction. So so before we go any further, I know that we're broadcasting correctly to the tube of you and the book of face. Let me go ahead and introduce myself if you happen to be new here. I know many of you are not new here because we're already getting caught up and talking with each other, which is wonderful. I love to see it. I love to see it. But hello, if you are new here or you're watching the replay, you don't know what these episodes are about, welcome. I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition, because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. I firmly believe that everybody has intuition, and you can find different tools to access your intuition, but it's already there working for you. You just kind of have to get out of your own way. I personally use the tarot to connect to my intuition, as a tool to connect to my intuition, and to also work with clients to connect to their intuition. My intuition talks to your intuition. And the common language is the symbology of the tarot. That's the really quick and dirty explanation as to how tarot works and how I work with tarot with my clients. But as I was saying a little bit before, I also have different other modalities that I've been learning, such as EFT tapping, that also encourages your intuition. Actually, I just did a really quick talk of tick on boosting your intuition. I don't know how I would be able to share that here. I might be able to. Let me see if I can do that really quickly. I don't think I can. I can try. Let me try. Aw, thank you, Jamie. So Jamie's saying Hilary is amazing for tarot and tapping. You want a reading from her. Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And Sophia is also saying, as we learned last week, everyone has intuition and all hot girls have tummy issues. Laughing my ass off. I don't know what that last part is about, but yeah, I think so. Like, wasn't that trending last week? Did I remember that correctly? It was like trending last week. I don't know. We're hot girls poop too. Hashtag hot girls poop too. Let's get that trending. All right. No. Yes. No. If I had some forethought, I could have done this, but I filmed it on my phone, and so I don't have this video native to. Oh, maybe that'll work though. Let me see. Show and stream. No, it's not working. That's not it. Oh, well. Anyway, you can find me on the Talk of Tick as well. And see that little emoji right down there, right next to @tarot by Hilary. That's me on TikTok as well. No punctuation marks, no underscores, no misspellings, no numbers, just tarot by Hilary. Okay. And that is the latest video that I posted on the Talk of Tick. It is like a 1 minute, 11-second video on boosting your intuition tapping. Filmed it really quickly using some of the terminology that I found in Sonia Choquette's The Psychic Pathway, which is a wonderful, wonderful book that I keep on putting off reading, but I'm finally sitting down to read it. If you look on my Goodreads accounts, some of you might be following me on Goodreads, which is a great place to track your reading progress if you happen to read a lot. I think I have in my currently reading shelf 33 books, I think, which is crazy. You know, no one could read that many books at one time, and yet I keep on going back to like I don't know. That's just my process when I read books. I can't explain it, but the other day I had only 10, and then I was just like, no, I'll start reading that and this one and this one. Yeah. So I'm waiting for Zuri's comment to pop up here. Yep, it's a great book. I don't think any book I've read of hers was disappointing. Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes people, like, I don't know if they actually have this opinion of Sonia Choquette and her, like, I think it's Sixth Sensory Living, I think is her, like, kind of company name or how she perceives information. But some people are just like, oh, she's too fluffy bunny. And I'm just like, no, she's not, you know, like she's calming and she's a calm presence. And it's like, it doesn't have to be all like, you know, like Phoebe and Charmed. You don't like gasp at a premonitions. Like that's really not how intuition works. Sorry, it doesn't. um Sophia says, I'm right there with you. The ADHD wins every time. I wouldn't diagnose myself with ADHD, at least not self-diagnosed, but I definitely get a little distracted when I read things. However, I do same. My book piles are almost as tall as me. We have a lot of book piles in this apartment. It's going to be real difficult when we are ready to move, and I'm trying to like pack up some boxes, even though we've got time. We've got time, but not that much time. I'm trying to keep myself calm in that scenario. So Zuri says, I like authors and teachers who break it down and speak in conversational, easy to digest terms. Well, definitely she does that. Sonia Choquette does do that with a lot of her books, which I appreciate. And most of it is very like calming and soothing. And I believe the Psychic Pathway was written in almost the same style or format as Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way, in such that it has like that same kind of tact, like Julia Cameron for artists, and here's how you structure your day or your life in such a way that you can follow the artist's path. Same thing with Sonia Choquette is the Psychic Pathway is like kind of giving you the like laying the groundwork for you to be able to live a psychic life and trust your intuition. So the tapping that I did earlier that I put on the TikTok was all about the 4 decisions that you basically need to make in order to really access your intuition and be psychic and live a psychic life. And most of it, I think it's boiled down to openness, trust, something else, in action. I can't remember the third thing right now. It'll come to me. But it's on like page 14 of the Psychic Pathway. So I took from that, I looked at that. Why am I guessing? I have the notepad right here. I have notes right here. Open, expect, trust, and act. I am open to psychic guidance. I expect psychic guidance. I trust psychic guidance, and I act on psychic guidance. And then you can, mix and match and label with whatever labels that you feel are personally resonant to you, because not a lot of people like that P word. They don't like the word psychic because they don't feel it defines them, or they feel like it's something woo-woo or mystical, or, oh, that's not me. And many of the conversations that I have with people about intuition, they deny that they are intuitive. And again, that's the reason why I start and end every episode with, you are intuitive. You have intuition. Don't argue with me. You have it. It's just that when people try to define it, or they use examples, the examples that they use are so humongous or far-reaching or far-fetched even, that they don't even acknowledge the small day-to-day ways that their intuition speaks up for them. Such as leaving a situation or a gathering place or a public place like a half an hour before something happens, or being a really good judge of character. Those are also intuitive skills or portions of intuition in which our intuition is speaking to us, but we think of it as coincidence, or we brush it off. And you shouldn't brush it off. And I think that's part of the reason why I was so drawn to those 4 decisions. I'm open to intuition. I expect intuition. I trust intuition. I act on intuition. It's that language. What language do you associate with being psychic or with being intuitive? And what are the labels that you're comfortable with? Makes sense to everybody? Speak up now in the comment section, in the chat section, because I'd love to talk about this too. Because we're gonna get to the astrology. Hold on. We're gonna get to the astrology. So your agenda is right over here on our beautiful overlay that I made in Canva. Thank you very much, Canva. And I don't have the mirror function. if I don't have the mirror camera function going on, then why am I still like I am clearly not equipped to be a weather person. Right here. Okay, there we go. So right here, we usually begin the episode with the astrology from Theresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady, from her wonderful Astro-Biz digest for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we move on to the topic of tonight's episode. Tonight, we're talking about the top 5 Oracle decks, or at least the top 5 that I can think of at this time of broadcast. And then we finish off with the weekend forecast, which is a tarot or oracle card to guide you into the weekend. So that is the agenda. That is usually the pattern of the agenda for each and every one of these episodes that we do every week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. I'm going to go back to the comments. Probably there about toilet paper when I was talking a little bit about the Gala Darling method, EFT certification, but also like I welcome you to ask me questions about that too, if that that particularly interests you, or you're thinking about joining, or you're on the fence. Like, please, if you have questions about that, go ahead and I'll field them here. Nice. Hopefully I didn't miss any other comments. Jamie's saying, I'm adding books and stuff back to my granny witchy hutch. Nice. Highly recommend The Psychic Pathway by Sonia Choquette. Most of her books, actually. She also has a beautiful hardcover book. It's like tealy and it looks very beachy, and I think it's called Ask and It Is Given. Which was really nice. And I think I got a copy of it, and I think I gave a copy to someone else who was going through like a hard time at that time. But this is like a few years ago now, at least 8 or 10 years ago. So Jamie also said, thank you for broadcasting some happy voices to me as I work on the Granny Witchy Hutch. I think this is perfect to listen to as you're working on that. That's great. And Jamie switched over to the Tube of You, which is fine. I don't know if the Book of Face was having problems. That's quite possible sometimes. I'm pretty sure Suri said I'm dead about my husband being half naked in front of me. He's not anymore. He takes really fast showers. I'm a little bit jealous, but at the same time, I just can't. I like my shower time. I could stay in the shower until I'm pruning, and I know that we should conserve water at times, and we should be very careful about that. But also, I really, really enjoy my showers. And we have a walk-in shower. We don't have a tub. It's a source of consternation for me, which will end when we find a new place. But I've had a walk-in shower for the last almost 7 years, and it's like, I miss my tub. You should have seen me in Vegas at the hotel. We had a huge tub and a room to ourselves. And I was just like, I don't care how late it is. I'm going to soak in that tub at least one of the nights. And I did, and it was amazing. Yeah, he already walked away, Jamie. A little bit embarrassed, a little bit not. No one could see him, so except for me, which is good. Sophia got caught up with the whole toilet paper conversation. Yeah, I think I've caught up with everyone. Michelle is also here. Hello and welcome to Michelle. Okay. So about intuition and psychic and guidance, etc. I have a great parking and driving angel guidance that gets me places in better time and parking spots that are out of the way when everyone else can't find one. That's intuition too. That is intuition. Absolutely. Jamie says psychic versus intuitive wording is definitely a truth. I'd rather call myself an intuitive rather than psychic. See, exactly. So, if you happen to stumble upon that tapping that I did on the Talk of Tick, substitute out psychic guidance for intuition. You can definitely personalize your tapping sessions. As some of you may know from working with me when I was doing EFT practice sessions, while I was in training for my certification. Jamie also says, next time on Tarot by Hilary, we witness a fun queer sing-along of YMCA. That could work. That could work. Katie says, I also make sure I thank them after they have helped me too. That is a wonderful, wonderful point, Katie. Thank you for pointing that out about the gratitude portion. Definitely, especially as you're starting to work with your intuition. And even if you've been working with your intuition for a long time, saying thank you, like, thank you for guiding me. Thank you for showing me that way. Thank you for showing me who that person was. Thank you for showing me what was not for me. Thank you for showing me what was for me. Very, very important. Also, a great point, gratitude in manifestation practices as well. Every time I have a client that I loved that seems to be my ideal client, after a tarot session with them or an EFT session with them, I say, thank you, universe, more please. I give that gratitude, and I ask for more. It works. It works. So, shall we go into the astrology? Because the astrology is looking really good, folks. Because guess what? Mercury's direct. Mercury went direct as of 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is fantastic. Hold on 1 second. Yes, dear.
I'm heading out.
Okay, you're heading out.
I left your 6-pack of Mermaid Pilsner in the fridge. If you come down to Brendo's, bring it with you.
You're not bringing it over there?
No, I'm going to leave it here for you in case you don't come. You can have one here instead of having it down there and then you want one.
Or you can always bring 3 over and leave 3 here.
Well, the bag I've got is heavy enough and I'm bringing down the bottom.
Okay. I'm just giving you a choice. All right, good luck. Rangers are on again tonight. Hockey playoffs in Eastern Conference, right? Eastern Conference final. But it's a series of games. So, all right. Katie says, Mercury Gatorade gone. Woohoo. Yes, Mercury is no longer in Gatorade. Mercury is no longer in Gatorade. We do still have to worry a little bit about the shadow period of which happens, before Mercury goes retrograde or before Mercury retrograde and a little bit after Mercury goes direct. And sometimes people experience worse times during the shadow periods. What's up, honey? Okay. Stopped in the middle of closing the door over. I don't know what happened there. Jamie says, wahoo from Mercury going direct, and hi, Mr. Hilary. Yep, he's left. He has left the building, or shortly. You might see his shadow crossing behind. Let's see. I don't know if he's going out the front or the back. It's hard for me to hear too because I've got my headphones in. For a second there, I thought he forgot something. Can you see his shadow yet? Has he crossed yet? It's a little bit creepy. And we also just started watching Stranger Things from the first season, which we had never seen before. No spoilers, please. And I will do the same for you, not give spoilers. I know we're very behind. But yeah, we've been watching Stranger Things. So I just if I see a shadow behind me, I'm like, also, he's leaving me home alone. This might not be good. So Katie's saying, I am the pre-shadow period. Drives me crazy every time. Yep. And sneaky Mercury. Yes. All right. So let us do the Astro-Weather, because I know we're already halfway through the episode and we haven't gotten to anything yet, which is totally fine and okay. This is This is what I expect. And as I mentioned at the top of the episode, I cleared off my desk and I rearranged things. So now my phone is actually, instead of it being over here and blocking out the chat portion, it's not, it's over here. And my light is over here. So clamped here, light here, blue snowball mic over here, mouse here. I feel very organized, but I'm also still getting used to it because I literally just cleared off my desk like today. It was just like, in honor of Mercury going direct, I need to clear this off because I had like papers and crystals and and it was just a mess. It was just really bad, and I couldn't concentrate and I couldn't keep anything straight. So Jamie says, have not seen The Shadow, and I have not started Stranger Things season 4. You will love this show. I have, like I said, Jamie, not even there yet. We watched the first episode of the first season like a couple of years ago, I think. And then we just stopped. So like one episode in the first season in. And so I was just like, I was kind of spitballing, like we really should, like, I'd like to give it another chance. And so we did. And now I think we're like halfway through the first season, which is only 8 episodes. So I think we just finished episode 4 last night of season 1. I have my suspicions on what has happened, but don't tell me anything. So we're quite behind. There is also Quirky Giraffe is also here, so welcome to the broadcast. And we are just getting started. Correct. Thank you for keeping me on track, Jamie. I appreciate that. Astro-Weather from the wonderful Astro-Biz Digest. So let me go ahead and show that. The only problem with this overlay is it blocks a lot of things out, but I will go ahead and display that. Where is there we go. So the astrology comes from Theresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady, and we do this at the start of every episode. And I give you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from Theresa's Astro-Biz Digest because I am not an astrologer. I am just a tarot reader. Actually, no, I'm not just a tarot reader, but I am a tarot reader. That is my specialty. I know just enough astrology on my own to be dangerous to the people around me, and ask them, what's your birth time? What's your birthday? And what's your birth time? And what's your birthplace? And they're just like, no. So I know enough to quasi read a little bit, but not enough to do it professionally for other people. So when we talk about astrology, I go to the experts, and Theresa is one of my go-to experts on astrology. So she has a wonderful subscription service that she calls the Astro-Biz Digest, which is astrology that comes straight to your email inbox. It is $99 for a year-long subscription. You get overviews for the month and for every week. And for every day. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I have found it to be very, very helpful in my own personal life as well. So, and $99 for the year for that level of astrology, and also in layman's terms. So you got the astro babble there, but Theresa explains everything really, really simply in jargon that you will understand. So she gives you the astro babble, like Mercury is direct at this time in this sign, but she also tells you what it means and how it might be applicable to your sign too. Great, great stuff. So let us start, shall we? Let me pull it up. And I already looked over the astrology for today in order to know what was going on so I could send out my newsletter at a time that would be auspicious, which I haven't done yet, but I will. Because most of today was void of course moon, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, void of course moon from 11:15 to 2:38 p.m. So I had planned on sending out my newsletter at 2:38 p.m., but best laid plans of mice and men tend to go awry. So it's not out yet, but please subscribe before the end of this live stream, and you will be able to get this month's newsletter issue. Okay. I usually do only the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because I don't want to give away the farm. If it sounds great to you, what you're hearing, and you want more of it, please, I encourage you to subscribe to the Astro-Biz Digest at the link that I have provided in the chat wherever you are watching this, whether it's on the Tube of You or the Book of Face. All right. First, we do need to talk about the greater transits that are going on this week. So May ended on a glorious note with the new moon in Gemini on the 30th. This is the perfect day to start new writing projects or host important meetings. You can channel all the right words, which means negotiation and creating content are a breeze. It's also your best spot for setting intentions around communication, learning, writing, and connecting. Read New Moon Astrology by Jan Spiller for more info on developing effective intentions around the new moon. More good news. Mercury is direct on June 3rd. That is today, folks. Hell yeah. The past few weeks have tested my last nerve, so I'm ready for this. Me too, Theresa. Me too. As Mercury starts rolling in the right direction again, you'll be able to get your message out loud and clear. Travel straightens out, tech woes subside, and permission is granted to sign contracts or buy new computer gear. So good. This is also the reason why I redid my desk. Lastly, Saturn stations retrograde on June 4th. During this transit, which lasts until October 22nd, you'll want to examine your business structures, especially for your community. Is it easy to serve your people? Do you have good strategies to welcome more folks into your orbit? What about your policies? Do they help you in your business or put you at a disadvantage? Go over every detail, cleaning up any loose ends or messy parts. You'll be glad you did. So remember that Saturn isn't retrograde from June 4th until October 22nd. So that is a longer transit. That's like over months and months. But those are the themes that you should be working on over those months. Make sure that it's easy to serve your people, that you have good strategies to welcome more clients. I mean, people talk about, success in their business, but when they get it, or if they are to get it, do you have a structure in place to be able to accommodate all of those people? If you want 10 new clients, think about, are you able to accommodate 10 new clients over the next month or the next 2 months? So make sure your business is actually accommodating for what you want it to have, especially when Saturn is in retrograde. Good advice, right? All right. Any questions before we go into details for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? I'm not seeing anything, so I'm going to keep going. So Mercury is direct today. Yes, all caps on purpose. We can move forward with ease after weeks of travel snafus, cancellations, and communication breakdowns. It will take a few days before you feel the wind up, so remain mindful of your words and your actions. Already read you the info. Use this morning for brainstorming a Moon-Neptune trine at 5:05 a.m., followed by a Moon-Mercury sextile at 6:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is your hotspot for conjuring up new ideas in your PJs. Also, the moon is void at 11:15 a.m. Not great for starting anything new. Frankly, I would stay in the pajamas and enjoy a slow Friday. That's exactly what I did. Once the moon dashes into Leo at 2:38 p.m., it is on. This transit of La Luna is dynamite for presentations, public speaking, dazzling PR campaigns, and creativity. You've got a good few days to put your energy into those activities, so get going. A Moon-Jupiter trine at 11:09 p.m. is your golden ticket for main stage presentations or sending in book proposals, if you're up at that time. It's also not too shabby for travel either, so if you're catching a red eye somewhere far, you're good to go. Friday, June 3rd, is a power day for Cancer and a weak day for Capricorn. Are we ready for Saturday and Sunday? Give me a hell yeah in the chat, please. And I'm going to continue to hydrate a little bit. I might have to refill my glass. By the way, I have gathered up the Oracle decks for today's episode, so I'm not having to go and reach anywhere. I actually prepared this time around instead of snagging my tarot decks from all over the apartments for last week's episode on the top 5 tarot decks. Okay, Saturday. Saturday is a bit funky. This morning has the moon in a trine with Mars at 6:15 a.m., followed by a square with Venus a half an hour later. This is best for sleeping in or for a quiet morning working on creative projects. The later morning and afternoon are open for presentations of all sorts. Be seen and you'll see green. Saturday, Saturn will be retrograde at 5:47 p.m. I already talked a little bit about that. And that is a yearly transit. Get into the public eye or on the main stage when the moon is in sextile with the sun at 7:23 p.m. It's a terrific time to stand in your power and speak from a place of authority. Get the hell off that stage when the moon squares Uranus at 11:47 p.m. The public is unpredictable at that time and could turn sour on you for no reason at all. Sunday is aspect free in the morning and afternoon, so you can grab the mic and make all the noise once again. A well-organized PR campaign today could open many doors for you. The evening is craptacular due to unhappy aspects stinking up the skies starting at 5:03 p.m. No real details there. It's just that's unhappy aspects. But I wouldn't test it after 5:03 p.m. My advice, quit while you're ahead and lay low tonight. Both days are power days for Leo and weekdays for Aquarius. Woo! Okay. It's a lot of information. All right, so I got it. I already got hell's yeses and go for it. And I already did it. So before we depart from the astrology portion of the episode, I open up the floor for people to ask. If your Monday happened to be weird or your Tuesday or your Wednesday, I will quickly look over the Astro-Biz digest for this week and let you know about that. So let me know in the chats. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up my agenda again. And I am also going to use, there's new widgets. There's new widgets. There's new widgets in here. Let's play with the widgets. I'm going to play with the widgets and you can ask me in the chat if there's any particular day you want to focus on for the astrology to be like, why was that day so funky? Was there an astrological reason for it? Let me know in the chat. Let's see. Widget. Follow us. Oh, that's super cute. Oh. Well, obviously. Yeah. Follow us indeed. So cute. Oh my God. I'm so distracted. I see you, Katie. I see you. I got you. Look at that. That's adorable. Yeah. So at this time in the episode, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe, click the bell. That's so adorable. Well, follow and unmute is not the case because you guys can't talk in here. So that works. Oh my God. And then we have just the regular other widgets that are super cute. Days in Quarantine is still there. Notice I put the question marks after a certain time, and the thermometer is not correct either. You type that in. So what's my sticky note? You can also do sticky notes, which is super cute. Super cute. Anyway, I don't need to do the countdown anymore, but I'll keep the follow us up there. That's so cute. Ooh, and it's transparent too. Nice. Yes, unfortunately, Squirrel Brain Hilary is adorable. Thank you. All right. So Katie's asking Thursday night, what trouble is around then? Around the upcoming Thursday night, because I don't have it yet, or past. I'm assuming past, because I know you're in Australia, Katie. I know you usually account for the time zone differences. So Thursday, fantastic day for organizing your home office, having sensitive conversations, and loads of client care. Hold off starting your day. Moon locked in an ugly square with Chiron at 9:18 a.m., an aspect that opens up old icky wounds. The vibe shifts when the moon is in sextile with Uranus at 11:05 a.m. And then that's a burst of creative inspiration, ideal for creating new content or making art. And then the rest of the day is clear. So you might have had a funky time period on Thursday from 9:18 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, account for your time zone differences, but that would be because the moon was in a square with Chiron. Old icky wounds. Makes sense? Let me know in the chat. And I'm going to start to pile up these oracle decks in front of me. I also have the Reflective Tarot in front of me, which I think is going to be the deck of the month for the Card of the Day polls, which I need to mention in the newsletter. So talk about Squirrel Brain Hilary, right? Nice and shiny. Put that over there. Oh, fuck. Well, you know I hate to see that, Katie. My job lead did, and it has made for future trouble. I'm sorry to hear that. I would say tap on it. Revisit the tapping that we did. Yep. Old wounds surfaced for them, but has impacted all of us. I would honestly do a little bit of a tapping on safety and security and feeling safe in your body. And also, just talk it through while tapping on the side of the hand point and be like, this old wounds has surfaced, and I thought I worked through my shit, but they need to work through their shit, and it really upsets me that because they didn't work through their shit, whatever shit it is, even if it's businessy or whatever, like they know better, they should do better. I don't like it when people know better and don't do better. It really reminds me of a time in my life when blank, just to, try and flush it out a little bit, and then plenty of water too. Yeah. Hey, if you can, good move. I might also suggest it for them too. I mean, you can, but also you can't control other people. You can't make them do it. But that would be my suggestion for you, just to help you out in that, because I'm sure it doesn't feel comfortable. Trying to move that around. Okay. So yeah, any other questions about the astrology before we move into our topic, which is the top 5 oracle decks currently? Ooh, I can show you a little bit from the testimonials for the emotional freedom technique tapping certification if you'd like, but you don't have to. Let me just drop that link into the chat though for the splash page. M22. Oh, come on. I think it's this one. I'm trying to figure out the that's what it was. Yeah, you've got 2 days, 5 hours, 30 minutes, and 57 seconds. And limited spaces are available. And yeah, you can check out our testimonials, listen to our students. I am one of them, and I'm just going to drop that into the chat just in case you are feeling called to get certified in the emotional freedom technique. And honestly, you could just do it to understand it deeper and better for yourself. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that you want to work with clients or share it with anybody else. But honestly, one of the practitioners, Jasmine, said in her testimonial video that she signed up to do it for herself, and it was just so powerful for her that she's like, I can't not share this with other people, which I think had a lot of people were feeling that way. Me, I signed up to be able to share it with other people as well as do it myself. I tap every single day, so at least now I do. It's really helped. It's really helped with a lot. Anyway, you're not here for that. You're here for Oracle decks. So let me grab the pile. And again, this is top 5. This is top 5. This is not, and this is currently. So I want to explain, I want to preface with listen, this is not the top 5 of all time Oracle decks for me. It just happens to be the top 5 that I'm currently working with right now, or that came to mind. Just to be clear. All right, let me pull the 2 more. And by the way, Jamie, if you are still here, one of them is the Visionary Oracle that you sent me. Helped me so much with the writing of my first book, which is out in November 22nd, 2022. So Katie says, my 13 moon spread for this is certainly coming up correct. It has insecurity 7 of arrows, aka 7 of swords, certainly becoming accurate. Glad we did that spread, which can be repeated in one of your previous episodes. Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you for advertising that. Yes, definitely check that out if you are interested and you're not sure what Katie is talking about. That's another episode that we did on year-long spreads. We did 2 examples, 2 different episodes, one of which is the 13 Moons Tarot spread, which is 13 cards, 12 cards, one card for each month, and then a 13 card, which is selected randomly, or you can use your yearly card as calculated through Who Are You in the Tarot by Mary K. Greer, now called Tarot Archetypes, I believe, in its 3rd edition. That's a great example of a yearly spread that you can do for advice for every single month. So you can find that wherever you subscribe, whether it's on the Tube of You or the Book of Face. Look through the archives and you should be able to find it. I think it's like yearly spreads, or I specifically said 13 moons. Jamie is still here. Yay, I am still here. Yay for the Visionary deck. So yeah, let's start with that, shall we? So the Visionary Oracle, again, this is not in any particular order. It's just like the first 5 that came to mind. So that doesn't mean this is number 1. And then the last one's number 5 and it sucks. No, I have way more tarot decks and oracle decks that I didn't mention on the top 5 episodes last week. We did do top 5 tarot decks. That is not to say I only have 5 tarot decks. I have way more than 5 tarot decks. And yeah. And these just happened to be the top 5 that I was thinking of at that moment. And the top 5 that I'm like currently working with, have my hands on. So this episode is the top 5 oracle decks. So number 1, and this is a relatively new addition to my collection that Jamie sent to me, is the Visionary Oracle by Comfort and Heart. And it is, according to the back of it, the Visionary Oracle is an intuitive tool that can help you gain daily wisdom and insight into your creative challenges. It includes 64 inspiring cards in 4 categories for freeing your inner artist. Air, fire, earth, and water. So intellectual, energetic, practical, and emotional. Each card is a unique work of art designed to tap into your true creative depths, tune into the voice of your intuition, and use as a source of guidance. What do I need to know right now to align with my highest creative self? And so how I would use this particular deck is at the time that I received it, I was really like, I was in the depths of writing my first tarot book that was commissioned from Flame Tree Publishing, which is a London publisher. They are my publisher. And the book will be out November 22nd, 2022. It is available for pre-order right now. And I have a page on my website dedicated to the book. It's just Tarot by Hilary /book. If you want to get more information about it and pre-order, there are links there so you can pre-order. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop that into the chat in case you are so inclined. I'll just pop that in there in case you haven't pre-ordered it yet. But in the writing of it, I was having a little bit of trouble because I was in that kind of limbo of too much structure instead of not enough structure, and trying to adhere to the word counts and trying to write towards a topic or a section of or chapter of the book, because it was very much like, this is what we want, this is how many words we want, this is how many pages, this is how many chapters, these are the titles of the chapters, so this is basically what we want from you. We want history, we want the benefits, we want major and minor arcana and interpretations and this. And they gave me a really great page plan with a suggested word count for each chapter. And I don't know, that kind of structure, it was great and it's awesome, but it did throw me for a loop. And it is the first tarot book that I've written. And so each day that I was working on, and a very fast turnaround time as well. So each day that I was sitting down to write, after Jamie sent me the Visionary Oracle, I would pull a card I would shuffle up and I would pull a card from the Visionary Oracle. And I would basically ask, what should I work on today? Should I work, because I didn't work on it chronologically. I allowed this oracle to guide me in my writing, and kind of push me to where I needed to be that particular day, especially when I was having trouble. Like, I would sit down the night before and be like, okay, I want to tackle these 3 chapters. Or I want to do this particular thing, or I knew which chapters were going to be the hardest. And so I kind of wanted to do them first, but I ended up doing stuff like that. So the Visionary Oracle really helped me in that particular creative process, which was writing. I'm sure artists, painters, deck creators, all sorts of artists. And even if you don't think that you're an artist, being alive is a creative act. So you are an artist simply by being alive. You are creative. So these are the backs. Very cool. The one downfall I would say is that there's no gilding on the sides. I really wish they had brought the gilding from the backs into the sides, but they didn't, which is fine. But the cardstock is really lovely. It's very nice to shuffle. The size of the cards are great too. And then it has a companion book that comes with it. And I am going to be talking a lot about the companion books that come along with the, oh, goodness gracious, I have hiccups. Painful hiccups. Oof. I am going to be talking a lot about the companion books that come along with an Oracle deck, because Oracle decks are not the same as a tarot deck. Tarot deck is 78 cards, no matter what. And they have 22 major arcana, and they have 4 suits, and they have court cards, and they have this, and every tarot deck is going to have the Fool or the Devil or this or that. It's like, it may be renamed, but they're still going to have that general basic structure of a tarot deck. And if it doesn't have a certain number of things or a certain structure, then it's not a tarot deck. Like, this gets me very pissed off when I see that blue box where it says Psychic Tarot, and it's not. It's not a tarot deck. Psychic Tarot is not a tarot deck. Just saying. If you see that blue box that looks etheric and sky and clouds or whatever, and it says Psychic Tarot on it, and then you turn it over and it says 56 cards, it's not a tarot deck. I get mad. My friend and I went to the bookstore a couple months ago because I was looking to get a particular oracle deck. And so we were in that section of tarot decks and oracle decks. And I saw that particular deck and I was just like, and she's like, you say this every single time, Hilary, like, let it go. And I'm like, I can't let it go. It's not a tarot deck. Don't call it a tarot deck when it's not a tarot deck. Anyway, are you familiar with that deck? Say so in the chat, please. Let me know I'm not the only one that gets mad at that kind of shit, because I feel like it's misrepresentation. I don't want to have to deal with that shit. Anyway, so beautiful cards. Talking about the oracle, here's the reason why I got mad. Most oracle decks don't have that same structure. The structure is determined by that oracle deck's creator. So it could have 56 cards, it could have 48 cards, it could have 22 cards, it could have 13 cards, and it has its own theme as well. And yes, a tarot deck can have its own theme, but it still plays within that structure of tarot. An oracle deck doesn't have to play within that structure because it's not a tarot deck. Thank you, Katie. It is incorrect advertising. That's correct. That is true. Thank you. Thank you for backing me up. Anyway, I'm going to display Jamie's comment about visionary deck. So because oracle decks don't have that same structure, or they have a differing structure to that of the tarot that is based on that oracle deck creator's personal preference or what have you, the companion books or the guidebooks for oracle decks tend to have a little bit of greater importance. So that when you pull up a card, you might be able to get a lot out of the imagery of the repetition card, for example, and you may be able to intuitively follow the symbology. But it's nice to be able to look and see, okay, that's the repetition card, and then go to the guidebook and see what they have to say about repetition. So let's just flip through some of these. So that's repetition. Here is connect to your urge. Here is addictive patterns. Here is possibility. Here is grounding. Here is seasonal shift. So that's what the deck looks like underneath. And then each of these cards is aligned with a particular element: earth, air, fire, water. And each of them represents a certain aspect of creativity, like intellectual, energetic, practical, and emotional. So let's shuffle. We're going to have a lot of weekend forecasts here, I think, using the top 5 oracle decks. But let's shuffle up here. And I'm probably going to get called out. I'm waiting for it. I'm asking for it. Probably on my newsletter. Yep. I thought so. So I am getting the Dreams card, which is numbered 5. And I believe this is an air, if I'm remembering correctly. So here's Dreams. And so let's go to the guidebook so I can show you an oracle deck in action, or this particular oracle deck in action. So this is air, intellectual. And what this guidebook says about dreams is pay attention to your dreams. They are trying to illuminate something that you are not consciously aware of or connected to in your waking hours. Allow them to be a source of inspiration. Take the time to write them down as soon as you wake up. Even if you don't know what they mean, your subconscious will help you sort it out. If you can't remember your dreams, try to tap into what you're feeling the moment you wake up. What might this feeling be connected to? Your dreams are the fuel right now for real world action. And it's actually very interesting that this card would come up because I talk a little bit about that. Dreams or following your dreams, or what's happened in the 3 months since following my dream to be a full-time tarot reader. And that's very, very vulnerable and very, very personal, which is why I'm hesitating on sending it. But that tells me that I have to hit the send button, right? So thank you once again, Visionary Oracle, for kicking my ass. I appreciate it. So that is Oracle deck number 1 in this list. The Visionary Oracle by Comfort and Heart. If we didn't think that the cards would come for us, you're mistaken. They always come for us. Usually me in particular. So you can point and laugh at me. Let's go with, let's do these next two. These next two, you all are probably pretty familiar with at this point because I do work with them a lot. And it is by the same writer and artist team. Now, I don't have the third Rebecca Campbell Oracle cards deck. And that prompted that trip to the bookstore. I was looking for the Rose Oracle, which was her newest Oracle deck that came out, and they didn't have it. But then again, it was the day that it came out. So not entirely surprising. But so here is Rebecca Campbell and artwork by Danielle Noel for both of these. This is her first Oracle deck, which is the Work Your Light Oracle cards. And then her second is the Starseed Oracle. And there is a third one. I believe the artist is different, though, for the Rose Oracle. So, and I have heard from people, because I've asked about whether or not I should get the third one. And they were just like, if you have these two, you kind of, it's almost like repetitive if you get the third Rose Oracle one, because a lot of it is covered by these two. Because it already does have a lot of rose imagery in the Work Your Light one. The backs of it are roses. Between the two of these, basically people have said you're covered. You don't need to get that third one. But there is one that I've thought of that someone recommended to me. I don't remember who, where they were talking about Saint Theresa, the little flower, and that there is an oracle deck based on that. That might be more up my alley and a good alternative to getting the Rose Oracle. Good. I'm glad that I covered the Visionary Oracle first, so that I could tell Jamie how it was kicking my ass. Heading out now, dinner time. I look forward to watching the replay to hear your other Oracle deck recommendations of the moment. Love you. Love you too, Jamie. I'm glad I was able to cover the Visionary Oracle for you because that was from you. So thank you. Kicked my ass. So, should I pull out some cards here? Because I feel like I've already talked or used these so many times for the weekend forecast that I feel like you guys already know these ones, but yeah, sure. I'll do it. So in order, first one, Work Your Light Oracle cards. Again, this is Rebecca Campbell with artwork by Danielle Noel. By the way, Danielle Noel is also the artist behind the Star Child Tarot and the Moon Child Tarot. And of course, the deep card that I'm confronted with first as I pull out this deck is transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So again, the imagery is really, really beautiful. And I'm sure you can interpret from that imagery there. But to me, I just go right for the companion books for Oracle decks. And usually the wording in the companion books are just like perfect for what I was talking about with my client or for their tarot reading. So the way I primarily use oracle cards is to wrap up tarot readings with people. I will do my tarot reading with people. And if you want to know how I do my tarot readings, there's an episode for that too. It is under the guise of how to do online readings, but it really does take you through the structure of how I structure my tarot readings, whether I'm doing a phone reading, whether I'm doing a Zoom reading or a Skype reading, or even an in-person session. It really does take you through, like I basically talk to the person, tell them how I work, what I do, what I don't do, go through the tarot session. But basically, at the end of most tarot sessions that I do, I will wrap up with an oracle deck. Now, the reason why I wrap up with one card from an oracle deck instead of pulling another tarot card is, what happens if the tarot card that I pull, the one card, is like the Tower or Death or the Devil card or the Three of Swords or the Ten of Swords or the Hermit, or any number of cards that one card pull might undo all of the work that I did with that person in that one session. So instead of reopening the entire conversation, instead of winding things down and bringing it to a natural close, I don't use the tarot for that one card summation. I use an oracle deck, because most of the time oracle decks are a little bit kinder, a little bit gentler, a little bit softer in their meaning or in their interpretation. And it really brings the reading to a natural close. And also, 99 times out of 100 will summarize almost exactly the themes or the homework of what I want that client to take away from the reading. It always sets them up in a great space so that they leave the reading better than I found them, because that is my job as a tarot reader. There's actually a quote that I pulled for my tarot book. And I can't remember who said it, but it was basically, a tarot reader should never leave a client's negative or confused at the end of a session. Like you don't do that. You just don't do that. I'm sure there's a nicer way of saying that, but I can't think of it right now. Let me look. I swear I pulled this up. No, it's not that. I'll find it, because I'm fairly certain I have it right here. A good tarot, I found it. A good tarot reader never gives false hope or leaves a client feeling disturbed. And that quote is from Leslie Ann Franklin. So I loved it. Hopefully it made its way into my book as one of the pull quotes. But this is one of the ways that I help with making sure that I'm not that kind of tarot reader. I basically use the oracle cards, one card as like a summation to bring the reading to a natural close. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me know in the chat. So companion book cards. Backs of the cards does have the pink roses that I mentioned before. And then fronts, again, the oracle can be structured in any way that the creator sees fit. And this particular deck creator, Rebecca Campbell, working with the art of Danielle Noel in collaboration with each other. This one's a beautiful one. The Age of Light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Awakening. So some of these cards are 1 to 2 words. Some of these are more like a phrase, break the chain. And has the artwork to go along with it. Some of these kind of, here's the Great Gathering. This one is the initiation. Some of them have like a little bit of a vibe to like a tarot vibe to them. Like the initiation speaks to me a little bit of like the Tower card, but it's not the Tower card, it's the initiation. But sometimes initiations are rites of passages. It can be sacred, it can be frightening. You know, a tower moment doesn't have to be all bad, you know. Here's Sisterhood of the Rose. So this particular deck I know has different sections to it. There's different types of cards. And you will know that if you look in the guidebook. So again, the guidebook, the companion book to Oracle decks can be really vital in some cases because, again, the Oracle deck has its own specific structure separate to the tarot, because it's not a tarot deck, it's an Oracle deck. This particular deck has 44 cards for Work Your Light. 44 card Oracle deck has been created to help you light up the world with your presence. By working with its 5 suits and connecting with your intuition, you would be able to start living a life in alignment with who you truly are. So here you've got confirmation cards, give a quick hit of instant guidance. Inquiry cards help you to tune in to the whispers of your soul, and it usually has questions to ask yourself when they come up. Action cards guide you on what action to take. Activation cards invoke healing within you. Transmission cards connect you with supportive energies. So, and notice how there's a difference. So this one's 5 suits. And they're confirmation cards, inquiry cards, action cards, activation cards, and transmission cards for this particular one, the Work Your Light. And the other one that we just spoke about, the Visionary Oracle, there were 4 suits: Earth, Air, Fire, and Water. Different purposes, different structures, different artwork, different Oracle. They're both Oracle decks, but they're different because they have different structures to them. Makes sense to everybody? So I really enjoy working with this deck because it really does sum up some of the readings that I've done for people, and people are just like, well, damn, like, and I'm just like, see, you can't make this shit up. And then sometimes I feel like when I work with people and we pull that one card at the end of it, it's just like, I'm almost like, did we just waste the session? You know, we could have just couldn't we have just skipped ahead to this one card? But it doesn't work like that, folks. It just doesn't. We have to do all of that work to come to that one shining summation moment, you know? And sometimes, you know, I'll open up the companion book to whatever card came up, and I'll read, and I'm just like, I promise you, I didn't read this before I gave you the reading. So sometimes they'll get like a mirror card, or the mirror card in the Work Your Light, and it's just like, who or what is triggering you? It's an inquiry card. Are they shining a light on something that longs to be witnessed in you? Where have you felt like this before? You know, like sometimes it comes up with inner child work, and then you get the mirror card and you're just like, oh shit. I'm not mad at that person. I'm mad at this person from my past that reminds me, like, this person reminds me of this person from my past. So I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at them. It's crazy. It's crazy, those kind of things that can come up. Ooh, this one's a great one. Don't dim to fit in. I feel like sometimes when I've been working with clients, a lot of them have the same themes that come up, even in the week that I work with them, and they're all different readings, absolutely, and they're all different people, but somehow thematically they all tie to each other, and I'm just like, this is nuts. Like, this is crazy. Why have I been giving this type of reading all week long? This is crazy. But it works. I'm telling you, it works. All right, any questions before I move on to the second, which is actually the third, the second Oracle deck from Rebecca Campbell and Daniel Noel, the Starseed. I don't see anything, so I'm just going to keep it going. So this one is the Starseed Oracle. Again, same writer, same artist, different oracle. So this particular oracle is, I don't know if there's same amount of cards. You can do love the box on this though. Oh, what was the question? The question was, any questions about the Work Your Light Oracle deck before I moved on to the Starseed? So let me know while I work on the Starseed. I've got the Work Your Light one right over there though, so I can bring it back if you need me to. Yeah, how many cards is this? Where? Why don't I know? Does the companion book say? That's for shit sure. The deep card in this one. You're not for everybody. You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness and face your true north. That is for shit sure. You're welcome, Zuri. Yes, I think everyone knows at this point that I am not for everyone. But here's the backs. Here's the back of the Starseed Oracle. Really nice, galaxy themed. And then some of the cards are like, you're not for everybody. The Golden Children is another one. Really pretty artwork, but it's very similar to the Work Your Light, which is not surprising considering it was done by the same artist. Here's Star Brothers. Did I say that? I like the phrase, don't come for me, I'm not the one. I'm not sure what that was related to, but it sounds like something I would say. Let's see. Star Brothers. Ooh, this one's a good one. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Oh, I really like that one. And I don't think I've ever pulled that one before either. That one feels new to me. And I've been working with this deck for a long time. So, and then, ooh, Baby Steps, the Cosmic Heart, Earth. You know, some of these cards I have never even seen before because they just haven't come up for clients. Sometimes the cards that come up a lot, and then there are some cards that don't come up at all, or maybe it's just not the season for them. But yeah, I haven't seen like these four before. Actually, I have seen Earthed before, but this one's like, ooh, this one's speaking to me. And as Dina's saying, gentle colors, yes. This one almost has jewel tones to it. I think I'm going to have to pull this one and go to the companion book because I feel like this one's speaking to me right now. Not sure. Maybe it's the new Real Housewives of Dubai, probably. I don't, what? Oh. What? I think I heard it on a Bravo show. Don't come for me, I'm not the one. The new Housewives of Dubai. Okay. Can I be making Dubai money? That'd be nice. Yeah, I'm pulling the Forge Don't Follow out right now. Ooh, this one's pretty. Your life is a canvas. Works very well with the Visionary Oracle that we just saw before. Beautiful. I've definitely gotten the wait card before. It's not yet time. Wait, it is not yet time. I'm just like, it's like the Hanged one. You know, the Hanged One of the Tarot. But here. Ugh. All right. It is a gorgeous deck, sorry. That's the reason why I get drawn to both of them. So this particular deck, see, I feel like there's more cards. Card messages and interpretation. So there's no suits for this particular one. Like the Work Your Light had five suits. This one doesn't have any suits. It's just the card is the card. And it came out in 2020. I feel like it must have come out in early 2020. I'm looking to see how many cards there are. I think it's more than 44. I think it's 56, but like I literally cannot find it anywhere on the box. Oh, if you want to look it up, that's fine. You can look it up. I'm not looking it up right now. Let me go to Forge Don't Follow. 68. Okay. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. I'm going to hold it up as I'm reading this. If you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path, and you'll likely not even take the first step. Yeah, that's coming for me. And I mean, hell, if it resonates for you too, please take it. Take what resonates, what works for you, and leave the rest. All right. But if you're feeling particularly like, ooh, this is coming for me, then the message is for you. Don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason that you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who don't wait for permission or until the morning they wake up feeling ready, because you'll never be ready. You will never be ready. They take a deep breath, put one foot in front of the other, and figure it out as they go. They don't wait for someone to lead them. They lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before, to go first and lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward for all of those who also feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. There's no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter. Do it for the younger you. Do it for the leaders who will follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. Forge, don't follow. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How are you being called to forge rather than follow? And how can you be the leader you wish you had? Yeesh. Yeah. Hello. Feel called out. I feel called out. It is a little bit of like my more, I guess, modern, unique take on the Hermit card, where I see that lantern and I think Trailblazer. Like, this is kind of the Oracle card equivalent, I really feel like. In more detail, though. Katie's saying, I like that one. I like that one, too. I swear, I don't think that's ever come up for me before in a reading. Then again, I do have sacred amnesia when it comes to readings, and I really don't remember people's readings because it's not for me to remember. It's for me to convey to the person that needs that message. So Zuri says, yes, be a trailblazer. Don't wait for permission. Give yourself the permission. Yeah. Do I have that written down in my newsletter right now? This is getting ridiculous, folks. Like, I I swear I think I wrote that down in the newsletter. I'm going to go look. But first, Zuri says, the Hermit reminds me of Nancy Drew or Aurora Teagarden. I know of Nancy Drew. I don't know of Aurora Teagarden, so you'll have to enlighten me on that. Yeah, let me look at the newsletter that I have. Yeah, a little. Definitely, the word permission is definitely in there, but it's not quite how I thought I had phrased it. I think I said it and I just feel like I said it recently. I might have posted it on social media at some point where it's just like, hey, if you're looking for the permission slip, here. If you're waiting on one, here, I'll give it to you. Wow, I feel so called out. Forge, don't follow. Jesus Christ on a cracker. Sheesh. All right. Okay, well, I'm done with that. I'm done with that shit. So that's number 3 on the Oracle decks, the top 5 Oracle decks. And now you kind of see the reason why I work with both the Work Your Light and the Starseed Oracle. Because, I did say kinder, gentler, kind of softer. It's soft, but it's also strong. It doesn't, just because it's soft doesn't mean that the message doesn't get through. But it's not quite the same as pulling the Tower card and being like, So Aurora Teagarden is a series on Hallmark movies and mysteries, has a vibe of Nancy Drew or Sherlock Holmes. She leads a murder mystery group and solves crimes and works as a librarian. See, the only knowledge I really have of Hallmark movies and the Hallmark Channel is The Good Witch. So I think I'm on season 4, episode 2 of The Good Witch, the series, and I've watched, I think, all of the Good Witch made-for-TV movies as well, with Catherine Bell in it. So that's like pretty much where my Hallmark interest begins and ends. I know it's cheesy. I know it's cheesy, but I love it. And I actually wrote an article about the mirrors in You and referencing the Good Witch's garden and how she uses a magic mirror and shit. Yeah. Yes. Love the Good Witch. I miss the old Captain Hubby. Yeah, I know. But you know what? The doctor next door, he's all right. He's cool. If you don't know what we're talking about, just look it up. All right, so that's number 3. So the 3 that we've had so far, we've had the Visionary Oracle first, the 2 and 3, the Work Your Light Oracle and the Starseed Oracle, both by Rebecca Campbell with artwork by Daniel Noel. 2 more to go. I'm going to go with this one next, and then we'll finish off. And did I spit everywhere? I probably did. Probably drooling everywhere. Or somehow got lip gloss on my desk. I don't know how that happened. Katie says, we occasionally get a Hallmark movie here in Australia, but would love to watch Aurora Teagarden. Yeah, I mean, that sounds good. Like, I'm not open to it. I just have a lot to stream right now. I have a lot to watch right now. Zuri says, I like him too. The doctor. Yeah. What's up? It's set up as different movies. You may be able to catch some. Nice. Yeah, probably same with Good Witch, though they did make a series for the Good Witch on Hallmark. It is a TV series now too, but they started out as Hallmark movies, series of Hallmark movies. I can't remember how many of them there are, 6 or 7 maybe. Yeah. Oh boy, I shouldn't be yawning like that. I haven't tapped. I haven't tapped in a couple of hours. Why am I yawning like that? Okay, so moving on to the 4th of the top 5 Oracle decks I'm using right now. We have the Moonology. Moonology Oracle Cards, which is another 44 card deck and guidebook. This is by Yasmin Boland with artwork by Nix Rowan. I'm waiting for that to pop up because I agree. The Mayor Woman and the Good Witch used to annoy the crap out of me. Martha Tinsdale. Yeah, she annoyed the crap out of me too, but she kind of grows on you like a fungus. I like Abigail. I like the meddling cousin. The meddling cousin that's not as goody two shoes as Cassie Nightingale is, but still learns a lesson at the end. I like Abigail. Unsurprisingly. And I think she's shown up, the actress has shown up in another thing, and I'm just like, what the hell is Abigail doing in this show? I get confused. I'm like, she doesn't belong there. It's actually funny. My mom was texting me because she knows I'll just look this shit up for her, but unrelated to the Good Witch series, but she was asking me about an actress. She was just like, look up this person who's in Ted Lasso, but she was also apparently in Game of Thrones. But who was she in Game of Thrones? Because I don't watch Ted Lasso, but I did watch Game of Thrones. And she completely butchered the actress's name, so I didn't get her, and I'm just like, all right, let me detective this shit out and figure out what the hell she's talking about. And I just went to the Internet Movie Database and looked up Ted Lasso, scanned down to see, okay, what name sounds or looks like closest to whatever gibberish my mom was trying to tell me, found it, clicked on her bio, scrolled down for Game of Thrones, and I'm just like, yeah, it was the nun and get the shame nun. And by the way, this is the reason why I grabbed the bell. Shame. It's not a shame bell. This is my grandfather's bell. But I grabbed the bell off of my altar because I was just like, Mom, it's the shame. It's the bell ringing nun is who she played in Game of Thrones. She looks totally different in Ted Lasso. I wouldn't know. I don't watch Ted Lasso. Anyway. So yeah, let's not get sidetracked for Hallmark movies, but so Moonology Oracle Cards, Yasmin Boland, artwork by Nix Rowan, and this is actually a really great deck if you are trying to learn like a little bit of astrology, but you're not very familiar with astrology. You don't have to be familiar with astrology. And even if you are familiar with astrology, I feel like this is a very kind deck, like either way, for the astrology novice or not. But you don't need to. You don't need to know astrology. So the back of this says, the energy of the moon has a formidable effect on our everyday life. Use these gorgeously illustrated oracle cards to tap into her ancient wisdom for healing, guidance, and protection, and learn how to work with her magical energy during each lunation. The accompanying guidebook reveals how to interpret cards and work with them to create, plan, and predict your life. Whenever you need to make an important decision, just pick a card and let the moon guide you. So Yasmin Boland is an astrologer, and also she wrote the book Moonology and Astrology Made Easy. So this is an oracle cards deck based on her Moonology book. So it tells you a little bit about the moon phases, and I like the inside top. Let the moon be your guide. Very nice, very spacey, not surprising. But this is another one. And again, for all oracle decks that you're working with, again, I really encourage you to look at the guidebook or look at the companion book, because you're gonna understand the structure of that oracle deck a little bit better, and you might get guidance in the guidebook that you might not otherwise intuit by just looking at the images here. Like here, for example, we just did have a void of Chorus Moon earlier today, which I mentioned during the Astro-Biz Digest portion of the episode. Here, Bottom of the deck, nothing will come of the situation, void of chorus moon. So you can use these as kind of like a study guide if you're working with like a subscription service like Theresa's Astro-Biz Digest and kind of like want to understand the phases of the moon and moon in Venus. What does that mean? Or full moon in Scorpio. What does that mean? Or new moon in Cancer. What does that mean? You can always use this deck as flashcards to understand the current transits that are going on, or you can use it as a straight up oracle deck and shuffle and pull regardless of whether or not the card that comes up matches up with the astrology that is currently happening. Hey, if it does, so much the better. Like, I feel like that's more of an emphasis on that message if it happens to come up as the exact same lunation that's going on right now as you pull the card. But it really can be used both ways, I found, for you to better understand astrology in the way of like of the moon sign and what it means. But also it works as an oracle deck too. Makes sense to everybody? Like, for example, like if I pulled here, the end of the tough cycle approaches at full moon in Capricorn, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's actually what's happening right now in the skies. This could be more applicable as an oracle reading for myself, and just like, yes, that's true, the end of a tough cycle is approaching, or I do feel like the end of it, like I have been going through a tough cycle right now. It's just an example. But sometimes when you work with a deck like this that is based off of astrology, it can get a little confusing because it's just like you do have the astrology that's happening, and then you have this deck where you could be pulling a new moon in Gemini, communication is key, and it's actually a full moon in Scorpio that's astrologically happening. But in those cases, sometimes you'll pull two cards like, hey, I shuffled and I pulled this, communication is key, new moon in Gemini. So I'll place this over here. That's my personal draw. But I know, because I worked with an astrologer, or I have a subscription to the Astro-Biz Digest, I know that it's actually a new moon in Sagittarius today. So in that case, you kind of get a 2-card reading in there, and you're looking, luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius, and communication is key, new moon in Gemini. So it could be like lucky communication, or you must communicate in order to bring luck, or vice versa. Makes sense to everybody? Let me know in the chat, because I feel like sometimes this can be a little bit confusing. So I really would love your feedback. Like, I still have the Astro-Biz Digest on my other tab. So let me look. Like, Mercury's direct today. Moon Neptune trine at 5:05 a.m. Moon Mercury sextile, not great for starting anything new. Moon in Leo. But I don't know if it's a full moon or a new moon. I think it was a new moon. Or first quarter moon. Do we have Dina here? Do we have our resident astrologer? Dina. Oh, Dina. But like, that's an example, like the deep card happened to be a void of chorus moon. And we did have the moon void of chorus earlier this morning. So like here, new moon eclipse, expect powerful change. Full moon in Pisces, balance spirituality and practicality. I think it's a first quarter, or like, I don't think they have like first quarter, I think they only have like new moon or full moon in blank. And then they have different ones like cardinal moon, gibbous moon, waxing crescent moon, first quarter moon. Yes, that's right. Thank you. I knew it was a new moon. We just had a coven meeting based on it, so I don't know why I forgot. New moon, 30th of May. So like, let's give like that an example, because I know the moon's in Leo or moved into Leo this afternoon. So let's look for a new moon in Leo. Might not exactly be the lunation that's going on right now, but they're pretty. They're really pretty, but you know, you might not be able to interpret. So again, the guidebook is key for some of this. Third quarter moon, new moon in Libra, full moon in Aries. No. New moon in Aries. Full moon in Leo. Found the full moon. First quarter moon. Oh, there it is. Confidence is your key to success with a new moon in Leo. And that's, there you go. So you kind of get the keywords, right? You don't get it all, but you get the keywords. But in this case, you would go to the guidebook, which has all of it. And these are, again, different categories here. You've got working with the cards, and then you've got here moon phase cards, new moon cards, full moon cards, and special moon cards. So they've got 2, 3, 4. So like 4 suits for this particular Oracle deck. But again, you don't have to have suits in an Oracle deck. The structure is completely dependent on the Oracle deck creator. If I say that enough, you know, it means it's important. So new moon cards, new moon in Leo, 50. So you turn to page 50. And again, this is a deck that you can use separate to the astrology that's happening currently. You don't have to match it up to the astrology that's happening currently for it to work as an Oracle deck. But if you were to match it up, let's use the new moon in Leo as an example. So this is confidence is your key to success. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you, whether you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children. Attune to the moon. Make time to have fun. Additional meanings for this card. It's time for you to show the world what you've got, shine your light, have some pride, spoil yourself, you've earned it, and you've turned someone's head. The teaching portion is Leo is the sign of the big and brave-hearted lion of pride and showmanship and flirting. The energy around the new moon in Leo, and therefore around this card whenever you pick it up, is hot and generous. The energy loves itself, and so should you. If you've been too much of a wallflower, this new moon card and the Leo new moon comes as a reminder that you need to be proud of who you are. So that's an example of matching it up like to the astrology. But again, you can always shuffle it up. Doesn't have to match to the astrology to be powerful or pertinent for you. So I'm going to shuffle it up. Now I'm not going to go back to the companion book for this one, but I'll just give you another example. Like here, we know that it's a new moon in Leo, right? But here I'm getting the card, bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. So if it was me giving a reading to myself, I would go to the guidebook and find the new moon in Aquarius and read on that to see how that's applicable to the question that I was asking or the situation that I was reading the cards on. Make sense to everybody? Before we go for our final deck, our final oracle deck. And then we may or may not do a weekend forecast, considering I feel like this entire episode was oracle card after oracle card after oracle card. But maybe I'll open it up to the floor and you pick out of the 5 where we should pull the weekend forecast from. That's intriguing. That's a thought, right? I'll give it a second. I need more water. I was going to refill my water glass, but I will wait until after the episode. I feel like my Fitbit keeps on like vibrating on my arm. When no one's actually calling. All right, I'll give it another second. I'm trying to plug this computer back in. Okay. So moving on to our final oracle deck, and my computer is slowly creeping towards me. There we go. It's moving again. Okay. Katie says, I've forgotten the name of the deck already, but the one with the Forge card in it, that would be good for the weekend forecast. That would be the Starseed Oracle. So I'll put that onto the side for you, Katie, because I was being drawn to that too. We'll pull another one and see if they come for us, right? Okay, that's the Starseed Oracle. All right, final deck of the top 5 oracle decks that I'm working with currently is the Super Attractor Affirmation deck. Now, this is a 52 card deck. It is by Gabrielle Bernstein with artwork by Michaela Ezra. It is very wordy because it has affirmations on it. Now, is this deck technically an oracle deck? Yes, it is. It is an oracle deck. However, this is also affirmations. This is the reason why it's so wordy. So this is 52 affirmations to help you start manifesting limitless abundance today. And this is the Super Attractor. So I call it an affirmations deck. Is it an oracle deck? Yes, it is. But it's an affirmation deck too. Become a super attractor. Being a super attractor means that what you believe is what you receive. This stunning deck of cards helps you connect to the universe and live in alignment with spirit so that you can get into the flow of well-being and develop your own super attractor powers. It's really great manifestation deck. Surrender to this awesome practice and watch the miracles unfold. So Gabby Bernstein is the #1 New York Times bestselling author of The Universe Has Your Back. She's also written Spirit Junkie, Super Attractor. Her newest book is Happy Days, which I'm currently reading among the 33 books that I am currently reading right now. She's been featured on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday as a next generation thought leader. And she was featured on that episode with Marie Forleo, and I can't remember the third person, but yeah. And they've done like Super Soul Sunday, like talks and everything and life class. So yeah. Very good. I also have, I have more decks from her. I have the Miracles Now deck. I also have the Spirit Junkie deck, which is another affirmation deck. All of her decks are basically affirmation decks. They've got words on them. So this particular deck, by the way, and I don't think any of the decks that I have from Gabby Bernstein have companion books or guidebooks with them, because you'll see why in a second. So the backs of these, this one has a pink dot in the middle. The Spirit Junkie one has a light blue dot in the middle. The Miracles Now deck is smaller and squatter and has like kind of like galaxy artwork on the back, dark kind of jewel tones, my favorite colors, you know. So these are the backs. The fronts, words and also art, but mostly words. So you can see why this wouldn't come with a guidebook or an interpretation book or a companion book, because it's mostly words. That one's pretty, but it has words, but it also has artwork, but it's mostly the words, the affirmations that you're reading. Though sometimes, like, I feel like I've pulled one of these cards that had a cardinal on it, and there was also like a cardinal was one of their like signs from spirit too. So that was just like a bonus. I'm just like, I feel like that's the only cardinal that's in this particular deck, and you found it. So that was really fun to see. Where it's just like, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes they're fucking with us. They dick with us, you know? And it's beautiful to see, because it's like, it's a kind of playful ribbing, like, oh, you didn't believe. Oh, you think you don't have intuition. That's cute. So let me just pull one from here. And I feel like we've used Super Attractor or Spirit Junkie on the weekend forecast before for previous episodes. I've gotten this one before. So this one is directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. Definitely gotten that one before. And I've used this as an oracle deck at the end of readings if I felt drawn to, or if the client has chosen that deck. Yeah, so I think that's it. I think that's the top 5. Top 5 oracle decks. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about next week, but we do these lives every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any ideas for future topics or episodes, you can feel free to send me an email or private message me or DM me or whatever. And I will take your thoughts into consideration and see if other people are also asking for a similar topic for me to teach. So any questions on the top 5 oracle decks? I will rattle them off again. I did not put up the title of the top 5 oracle decks I'm using currently, but that's fine. Didn't need to. So those were the Visionary Oracle, the Work Your Light Oracle, the Starseed Oracle, that's 3, the Moonology Oracle, and the Super Attractor Oracle / affirmations deck. Ooh, that's a suggestion, Sophia. Maybe reading pips. Do you mean illustrated pips or non-illustrated pips? Because I definitely do not know the technical way of reading non-illustrated pips, besides visualizing the illustrated pips in my mind and going back to that visualization. I am very much a Rider-Waite-Smith-based tarot reader. That's how I learned. But if you want to talk about reading the aces through 10s of the Minor Arcana, we can definitely talk about that. I can look into it though. I'm certainly not an expert on non-illustrated. But I can definitely look into it and see if there's any particular techniques and get back to you on that. But I will only do that for next week if I feel confident that I'm able to teach it. If I'm not feeling confident, I can always message you with resources that I'd recommend. That's very kind of you. I'm here for the ride regardless. Good to know. All right. Any other questions before we move into the weekend forecast? And I'm going to remind you to there. I would not make it as a weather person, I'm telling you. I remind you to follow me, click the like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Click the bell for notifications of the next time that I go live, and a reminder that I do these lives every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here wherever you're watching, whether you're watching on the Book of Face or the Tube of You, and replays are always available for these episodes. And please look through the archives. We've been doing this for 3 years in August. So I have probably covered a topic similar to the one that you're looking for already. And I'm always happy to revisit those topics, especially as you learn and grow as a reader, learn new things. Like, I mean, especially for like the EFT, the emotional freedom technique, tarot and tapping. I taught on that over a year ago, and then I didn't know there was going to be a certification coming out. I didn't know that I was going to take that. I didn't know that I was going to quit my job to go full-time as a tarot reader. I didn't know any of these things. And that doesn't make me a shitty tarot reader. That just makes me human, you know? So yeah, I guess we'll go into the weekend forecast. So by popular demand, aka Katie, she wants the deck with the Forge card in it that we pulled, and that came for us before because apparently she likes it when the tarot or the oracle comes from me. So, okay. So that would be the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell with artwork by Danielle Noel. Again, this is a 53 cards. I missed it. I missed it the first time around. It's on the freaking box. 53 cards in the Starseed Oracle. Can't take me anywhere, folks. Yeah, so I've got the Forge Don't Follow on the bottom of the deck. That's what we pulled before. I'm going to put it into the deck and shuffle. I know it comes for you too. I'm very aware that it comes for you too. I like it. All right, so here's the weekend forecast coming up for you from the Starseed Oracle. And I'm shuffling it. And if that Forge fucking card comes up again, then I'm just going to play 53 card pickup. I don't know. You've already gotten it. You already got the companion book's interpretation. All right. What do we most need to know this weekend? I swear I'm shuffling. I swear I'm shuffling. I promise you I'm shuffling. Okay. Feel like we dodged a bullet there. Though, I mean, where's the Forge card? Where did it go? It is not the Forge card, thankfully. That's the reason why I went, phew. Katie said, maybe that's why I like it too. You like it. You like it when the Oracle cards are rough with you. I get it. No, to this weekend, we have to water our garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. I feel like we pulled this last week. Did we pull this last week? Did we pull this last week? I swear we pulled this last week. I'm going to look. And if it's ringing bells for me, then I say we pull another I feel like we pulled this last week. I'm going to go look. I'm going to go look because if we did, I'm pulling another damn card. I know this is adding on to our broadcast time. I'm aware. Okay, top 5 Oracle decks. Let's look. Unless, of course, we pulled from the tarot. Did we pull from the tarot? Oh my God, and I never did the... All right, I'm a little bit mad at myself right now. I'm mad at myself because I did the new intro and then I never showed the new intro. Why did I not show the new intro? No, we didn't. We didn't pull this last week, but we got something very similar. We got the Star Mother card, which was about nourishment and nurturing. So, okay, I feel confident now. I feel better now. We got the Star Mother. This one, and I think that was from the Work Your Light, not the Starseed Oracle. But thematically, they're kind of close. So maybe it's just another weekend of nourishment and self-care, folks. So we did get the Water Your Garden card. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Yes, exactly. Same message or similar message, but I guess that's a heads up or more emphasis. We need it again, folks. Earth is a seasonal planet, and as such, you're a seasonal being, cyclical. You can't be on and in full bloom month after month, day after day. You're strongly being called to put on the brakes, rest and refuel, to take a moment to restock and replenish and slow right on down. Your body is the only body you're given, and it needs to be respected as such. You're being called to take responsibility for your well-being, to put your health and body first. I know it can feel like time is running out, and as if there are urgent things that simply cannot wait. However, if you keep pushing on, soon fatigue will set in. This way of living isn't sustainable. If anyone continues to race through life, eventually they will reach exhaustion, and it will take longer to recover than it would have done to rest initially. Immune system disorders and mystery illnesses are becoming much more common because we're putting too much pressure on our bodies to keep up with the instantaneous pace of modern life. How are you being called to put on the brakes, to rest, restore, rejuvenate? When was the last time you took a holiday or had a full weekend, day or afternoon off? Look after your precious body and mind. Give yourself enough time to recover when you find yourself running on your reserves. There is enough time. Life will bend toward you when you do. The inquiry is, what is your body yearning for? And also, give your body what it's yearning for. And right now, your body is yearning for rest and replenishment. And it's a beautiful card, too. Water your garden, both metaphorically and literally, if you're a gardener. As Katie said, same source, our intuition. Exactly. Well, cards came for us again, folks. I'm so annoyed that I didn't show I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it anyway. Why not? It's my show and I can do what I want to, right? So let me show you this first. Maybe it'll be like kind of our outro, whatever. I was very proud of myself and I want you to know. Here's the new video intro. I worked hard. On it. Let me let it upload. Hopefully it works. It's super cute. Super cute, folks. See, it was cute, right? It was cute. And now that I know how to do that, I will switch out the last portion of it to show the newest episode. So Katie says, thank you. Have a good weekend, everyone. Rest up and be kind to yourself. Exactly. And thank you. Ooh, fun intro or outro, as the case may be. So this is just a reminder to do all of the things shown in this cute little thing. Welcome and bye. Subscribe. Hi and bye. There's actually a really cute duo of dogs that I follow that I show their videos of them trying food with like silly hats on that their mom crochets for them. They're called Suki and Ivy. And I show it to Mr. Tarot by Hilary. And there's one that's like kind of ornery. And of course the human owner captions them. And one of the captions is like the dog just leaving. And the caption is freaking bye. And so now anytime like I leave the room or he leaves the room, we just pause and look at each other and go freaking bye. That's exactly what I thought of when I was just like, oh, I didn't play my intro. Anyway, just a reminder, every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me know what you want to learn about. We'll look into non-illustrated pips and how to read them for next episode. Hopefully I'll be able to figure that out. If I can't teach it, we'll do another topic and I'll give you those resources, Sophia, if you want. Katie's laughing. Yeah. Freaking bye. So cute. Suki and Ivy, look them up. You'll see them like sometimes like they're the crocheted, like it's like a crocheted broccoli head. They did dragon fruit. The dragon fruit one was really funny. And it's just cute and it makes me laugh and it makes him laugh. So it's worth it. Yeah. So just a reminder, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, you have intuition. Please do not argue with me. You do. You have intuition. You can find me at tarotbyhilary.com for all of your tarot reading and EFT tapping needs. I'm doing both. If you have any questions about the Gala Darling Method certification, while the enrollment is still open until Sunday or whenever she gets 50 people, it's going to be soon, folks. I have a feeling it's going to be soon. You can feel free to ask me questions about that too. Or if you have questions about EFT tapping, what it is, how I can help you with that, along with tarot, I'm happy to answer your questions as well. And, you know, if you have hesitation with booking with me for either tarot or EFT, you know, tell me why. Tell me why you have reservations and let me guide you to a tarot reader or an EFT practitioner that might be more of your speed, because I know plenty of them, because there is no such thing as competition in this industry. It is cooperation and collaboration. These are all my colleagues. So one of us can help you, even if it's not me. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you all so much. And I will see you next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, take care of yourselves and freaking bye.